as a young man, right? How old are you?
I'm 23, finna be 24
as a young man, right? So do you fully understand? Do you fully understand what God requires of us as men? 50-50.
Still learning.
What's the other part? What don't you understand? I want to dialogue with you, bro.
I ain't read the Bible yet, bro.
Okay.
I'm spiritual, bro.
Okay, let me show you this real quick. Listen to this real quick. 1 Kings 2:2. Because our young man, a young brother like yourself, you walk with confidence. But guess what? Your confidence got to be found in. It's got to be according to the words of God, right? You got a beard on your face, right? That thing is manly. Most of our brothers are shaving their beard, not doing the thing that God commands of them. Read this.
This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 2 and verse 2.
Now, this is a king. A king talking to his son that's going to take his place as a king. Read.
I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man.
Now, if you had a son, you got a son? You got a daughter. If you had a son, you would want to tell them, hey, look, you want to teach them righteousness, right? I'm going to show you how to be a man. Read.
And keep the charge of the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways.
See that? So God said we got to keep his charge and to walk in his ways. Now, do we as a people, do us men, do our men in this world today walk according to the standards of God? No, we walk after our own mindset. We walk after our own desires, our own sins and pleasures. You understand? Whether it's smoking weed, fornicating, right, stealing, lying, all kinds of matters of sin. Those are the things that we walk according to. We've never been shown as men how to walk to the standards of God as far as what the Bible says. How to be men, how to deal with each other as brothers, right? Then guess what? It ain't got to turn to gun violence because I have an issue with you. I could go to the word and rectify the issue. You understand? Read.
To keep his statutes and his commandments and his judgments and his testimonies as it is written in the law of Moses.
See that, my sister? Hey, sis, what's your name? My sister right here, what's your name? Morgan. And my brother, what's your name? Morgan and Stephen. I want y'all to listen real good to this, right? You have a father, your father's in your life? Okay, listen good to this one more time. Read.
And keep the charge of the Lord thy God.
Read it from the top. Come on.
I go the way of the earth, all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man.
So we're finna read the standard, the obligations of what it means to be a man according to God. Read.
And keep the charge of the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, to keep his statutes and his commandments and his judgments and his testimonies as it is written in the law of Moses.
See that? So God said us men, we must keep the commandments of God as it is written in the laws of Moses. You understand? But guess what? Today, do our people keep the standards of the Bible today? Do us men? Not a lot, right? So
Steal, smoke, drink.
we still smoke, drink, and fornicate, right? But now, are those things acceptable in the sight of God? How do we please God then, right? Let me show you what God said. Give me Sirach 19:5 first. Let me show y'all something that God said, because, for example, we take pleasure in sin. We take pleasure in defiling our temple, getting high, getting drunk, fornicating, robbery. A lot of our people even take pleasure in murder. Okay? Read this real quick.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 19 and verse 5. Whoso taketh pleasure in wickedness shall be condemned.
So listen to this. Think about it. We have churches on damn near every corner in the hoods, right? And yet the hoods are full of sin and wickedness. But read this again. Read.
Whoso taketh pleasure in wickedness.
Whoso taketh pleasure in wickedness, fornication, adultery, smoking weed, defiling their temple. Read.
Shall be condemned.
That is how we get condemned in the sight of God. You understand? That means we are sinning against God because we find pleasure in doing the things of the flesh, like sinning. There's more on that? Read.
But he that resisteth pleasures.
But if you resist weed, fornication, homosexuality, and all these other sins that our people do, read.
Crowneth his life.
That's how you get life. When we apply God's law, statutes, and commandments. That's what truly gives us life. Right now, our people are the walking dead. Give me that Proverbs 21:16 real quick. In Proverbs 21:16, he tells you the mental state of us as a nation of people, right? Hold on, stay with me, sister. Sister Morgan, right? Stay with me. I want you to listen real good to this. Listen real good to this, bro. Read.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 21 and verse 16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding.
The man or a woman that wandered out of the way of understanding, read.
The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
We are in a dead state because mentally we don't apply spiritual things. Because you said you're spiritual. Would you consider yourself to be spiritual? What about you, my brother? Would you consider yourself to be spiritual? Let me show you what God says spiritual is. This is what's going to give us life. Listen good, my sister. These are the things that are going to give us life. Read.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 7 and verse 14. For we know that the law is spiritual.
Now, what did God just say is spiritual? The law. The laws of God are spiritual, right? So if we say that we're spiritual, what must be in our actions? Applied by the Bible, the laws of God. You see how simple that is? But guess what? You go to church? What about you? Y'all been to church? But in church, do they teach you the laws? You would say no. What about you, bro? Would you say no? The ones you've been to have. Some do, but the basics, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, some of those things they teach, but are they enforced according to God? Do the pastors enforce the laws of God?
It all depends on what area you in.
It depends on what area you in. Okay, but like I said, this church, no matter, I've been to Chicago, I've been to Philly, I've been in many places. But in the ghettos, there are churches everywhere, but the laws are not enforced because crime and sin runs rampant in our communities. You understand? And sis, hold on, before you go, because I really want you to understand this. You said the laws of God are spiritual, and you said these things are not being taught. So the question should be, well, what are the laws of God, and why is it important to keep the laws of God? Right? Because he said if you don't keep the commandments, then guess what? Our people can be condemned, meaning there's a judgment for that. Give me Romans 6 real quick. I'm gonna just show you a couple of things real quick, sis, before you go. I have to let you know first and foremost the importance of this information. Read.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 6 and verse 23. For the wages of sin is
The wages of sin, meaning the recompense, right? The wages of wickedness or sin, read,
is death.
is death. There's a judgment from God for breaking his commandments.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. It's nation time.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, His word.